Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you very much for joining me here. Hope you're having an amazing day. We're going to take a quick look at Gala, see what's going on, and obviously understand a little bit more about where it's going next. It looks like it wants to go up though. I just got that sneaky suspicion. Now, if you are new to the channel rather, I've love teaching people how to trade. I think there's no other way to put it. And this is my day job, my passion. I do this every single day for a living. So I hope that you can learn something here today. That's the goal, and that is the reason for the channel. Now I have a trading community as well as a trading academy, and I send out signals for every single trade that I take, kind of a one-stop shop for everything crypto. Check that out. CryptoCash.tech is the website, link in the description below. Bear in mind, the website is unfinished, but it does allow for you to have members access and to effectively do what you need to do initially, right? I'll have market data and all that good stuff on the site here soon, so looking forward to that. So check that out in your own time. Now taking a look here at Gala. It's been a little while since I've referenced Gala, and I apologize for the delay to those of you who love and appreciate this one. And the main reason why, of course, is because we've been waiting for Bitcoin to figure things out, right? Pull its head successfully from its ass. And at this point, I can say that it's done that. Now, watch my other Bitcoin video. I just put a new one up here today. I still exercise caution, or recommend you exercise caution, of course, because we don't know fully what's going to happen next, right? But I think the worst is mostly behind us, and then we could expect to see one more pullback, but maybe not as large or severe as we were hoping or expecting, rather. Again, bears were hoping for that, depending on position you're taking, right? That being said, Gala's following suit to an extent, and if we look at the big picture, it rose to fame way too fast, right? So there's no doubt about that. I think you can kind of acknowledge the fact that in 1 week's worth of trading, 628% is a rough estimate. That's a little too much, right? That is way too much. Honestly, that's just stupid as far as how much growth we experienced in 1 week, right? That being said, the continuation to the downside makes perfect sense considering where it came from. It didn't build up to anything. This is just an explosion and a taper, right? That's very common. That ties into yesterday's behavior because it was waiting for Bitcoin to do something. Finally, there's less fear, uncertainty, and doubt in the market. Not a lot, but less. And now Gala's taking off, and some coins like this are exploding because of the simple fact that they've been held down for too long, right? So you can only hold something underwater for so long until it surfaces, right? If it's full of air. The same scenario here as well as with Gala. It's been ready to take off, and now it's done that. So that's great. We want to celebrate that. That's positive. But do not by any stretch of the imagination expect this to continue or maintain, right? It may or may not continue upwards. Now, it has a tendency of taking off in the past, but it's only done that one time, right? So we got to acknowledge the fact that it may not be realistic to consider this kind of increase to happen again, right? Now, I know some coins have a tendency of repeating the same behavior. Gala could very well be one of those. I mean, 1 week from now, we could see Gala in 75 cents to $1. Now, I don't want to walk away from this conversation here thinking that or knowing that, but that's a possibility with almost any coin for the most part. It has a history of doing that, right? So we can't rule that out. But I do want to just kind of be the voice of reason and help you understand that it's very unlikely for us to expect that, okay? The more likelihood is for us to probably continue to progress upwards slowly, I would imagine, over the next few days, or more importantly, sell off if Bitcoin sells off, right? We got to be ready for that. If Bitcoin loses its bottom, comes back down under 40,000, what do you think Gala's going to do? It'll correct down to 23, maybe even 20 cents. Okay, so just be mindful of that. Try not to be super fearless. If you're going to put a stop loss in place, make sure it's I would say fairly tight, especially if you're in profit. Because just say you got in, yesterday or the day before, you're going to be up over 30%. Don't get greedy. Don't try to make 30% 50 and 50% 100. That's just, I don't know. I think that's kind of ignorant, and that's not the right way to go in crypto. I apologize to you if you're the gambling type and you want to kind of let it ride. That's okay if that's your style. That's just not what I do, and that's not what I teach. Okay, so I hope you understand that. Regardless, let's go ahead and stop speculating and just go ahead and look at the data, right? So we're up over the 50 on the RSI. We see the same behavior from Bitcoin recently. Excellent news. It's good. It does imply that if the price were to come back down, it'll probably hold somewhere around 26 cents, right? Because if you look at this, it doesn't translate specifically, but if you just see this line here right around 50 on RSI, we're a little bit over that. If you also look at the price action here, it's pretty close to 26 cents. So usually a key level resistance is reflected on 50 on the RSI. So my speculation here is that 26 could and should be the newest bottom for now based on that sentiment. Okay, and that's usually something I go off of. Again, pending Bitcoin doesn't drop sub 40,000, we should be fine to hold that level. Okay, that's the concept I want to I try to utilize in any type of trading I do, is always try to acknowledge where the RSI is at on the 1 day. That helps me know that, okay, we're up over key level resistance. We can establish 26 cents as a likely support. Okay. So again, just something to kind of think about. That's relatively what's going on. And you can see here there is some consolidation occurring here as well. Of course, we had that candle wick down that just happened about an hour ago. That's when we took a short position as a community and took some profits on, I think it was SRM. But generally speaking here with Gala, it's testing the 200-day set moving average, or soon to. So you got to realize that that is a key level resistance as well, and that could effectively hold the price action down. So what could happen is that the price could continue to consolidate here. The 200s works its way down, and it either breaks up or breaks down. It's one of the two things. The likelihood of it breaking the 200 is less versus the other way around. In other words, 200 is a very strong resistance level, notoriously. So just be mindful that that could effectively have an impact here as well. Okay. Looking at the RSI, this is the biggest cause for concern for me. Traditionally speaking, RSI up over 70 isn't a terrible thing, right? It's actually all right. In fact, you want to consider holding your position until the RSI comes back down. That's the general rule of thumb. That's how I usually try to play it. But when the RSI on the 4-hour chart is extremely overextended and it's trending closer to 85, that's a cause for concern. So I'm not telling you to sell your position now. Just be mindful that the price very well could turn around and we might see a better case scenario of 23.5 cents as the next available support. Okay, so that is just something to be mindful of. Of course, if you want to watch my RSI video, I basically talk about how when the RSI comes back down and breaks below 70, that's a case in point when you want to consider taking profit. Okay, but there's no doubt in my mind here, and you can kind of see it obviously as well, that is overextended, it's overbought, and it means it's a good value for somebody to sell, right? That's what it basically means. So try to understand that other people see this as a valuable coin that they can make money off of, right? Not a lot of other coins jumped 30% yesterday, albeit most of them jumped 5, 10, 15% because Bitcoin went up 11, I think, in only 12 hours. But Gala is one of those, like, it's kind of just having the second wind, so to speak, and that could very well be detrimental, right? Just be aware of that. TD sequential tells us we're overextended as well because we already had a nice little 9 4-hour candlestick push to the upside, essentially 36 hours of continuation, and now we're in that overtime. And to me personally, when we're in overtime plus RSI being overextended and the likelihood of Bitcoin tapering off closer to 40,000, that tells me we're probably going to see somewhere in the range of 23.5 cents, more likely than not, than the price to consolidate at 26, which implies we may actually lose that resistance on the RSI on the 1-day chart. And that wouldn't be, again, it's not terrible. It could very well break above again, but generally speaking, there's a lot of reasons why we could expect Gala to turn around at this point. That's just my sentiment here at this point. All right. So once again, not necessarily, the exact, but I do think that it's gonna maybe, I wouldn't say come crashing down, but I do think it'll correct itself a little bit more. That's all I can say. So I think a short down to 23.5 wouldn't be a terrible idea. Just throwing it out there. All right. Here's another thing too as well we need to acknowledge, and we got about 8 hours left. So, again, not saying you're just going to go and turn things around right now, but if Gala cannot break 27 cents, for example, as a rough estimate, then we're going to be able to see the price turn back around. Or in other words, the Ichimoku cloud is going to tell us that, hey, our lagging span's intersecting with the price action here. We want to close our position, okay, because it's overextended, as well as the fact that we're losing that momentum. Consolidation is good, so if this consolidation can continue and then leg up right here, then we'll be fine as well, right? We're going to clear that price action, we'll be okay. But generally speaking, the Ichimoku cloud is telling us here in the next 8 hours, if Gala doesn't break to the upside, we'd want to consider taking our profits on our long position. So take that how you will, but to me, that leads me to believe that if you're in the profit and you're up 30%, what are you doing, right? You should do something with that and at least maybe consider trimming part of your position and preserving those profits, because we don't know if Bitcoin is guaranteed. Watch my video from Bitcoin. You'll see what I'm talking about. I don't think we're going to break 40,000 immediately, but I do think we're going to see the price kind of channel within that area between 40 and 42, and then eventually either break to the upside or the downside. We don't have enough information to anticipate that. There's low volume in that channel, and I would venture to guess the same thing here as well for Gala, right? So let's say we go back, this is about, let's go about 1 month. So 1 month's worth of trading data here, approximately. Look at where the volume is at. It's below the price action, which is good. Okay, that's a support level. But there's not a tremendous amount of volume here at the price range, okay? Because you can see here previously the price just dropped, okay? So with less volume accumulation at the price point of 26 cents, it's still establishing itself. So until we get more volume here and this gets filled, so to speak, we're going to have a potential issue where the price could very well come around, turn around as well. Again, just some things to think about. It doesn't always work out that exact same way, but I want you to know that we are very overextended in a lot of ways, and we're still kind of in overtime, so to speak, even though we got a reset on TD sequential. On the 4-hour more specifically, we're still waiting for the price to consolidate. So unless we can get 12 to 24 to 40 hours more worth of consolidation at this price point, I would expect the price to either come back down or to not continue to progress upwards, if that makes any sense, right? So build a foundation, 1 or 2 days worth of consolidation at 26 cents, and then it can leg up again. That nice, healthy staircase pattern that we're looking for. But right now, we've just got this, what is this, a snake pattern? I don't know. It's funny, we're talking as a community about like Bitcoin and how it has like a Loch Ness monster pattern, because we're just kind of reaching at straws. Like, it doesn't make any sense. And that's just kind of how it goes right now. You got to roll with the punches and understand that Gala is, it's performing well, right? But I don't know, man. If I'm up 30%, I'm going to damn well take my profits. So I hope that you can learn something here today, of course. If you did, comment below, let me know your thoughts. If you're not currently a member, consider subscribing. CryptoCash.tech is the website. Again, website's incomplete, but it will be complete here soon, and we'll be able to effectively help you out there. I have signals. We also have private chat roundtables as well, roundtable discussions. And then furthermore, too, more importantly, is the Trading Academy, where you can learn how to become a better trader. I've got hours worth of content to kind of help walk you through every step of the way. So I look forward to getting to know you better. Hope you have a good rest of your day. Thanks again for your time. We'll see you soon. Take care.